We he's been ready, he says, as we go live on a
Yeah. Tuesday. Welcome
Taco Tuesday.
back to the Legends Clubhouse. I am what was my nickname for today? Um
Oh, I'm a dum dum. You keep rambling. I forgot to tweet us out, so I'm live tweeting us out on the show.
cool. So
Right.
I'm always ready, Bobby Caboose,
Always
as
ready.
always, with the last minute tweet man, Lawson Turner. What's going on, man?
Tweeter,
Stop
tweeter,
tweeting.
tweeter. Hey man, I gotta make sure
Uh
that we're out there.
Welcome to the Legends Clubhouse. We are here on a Tuesday. Someone per usual, has internet issues and has to push back, the show to a different day. And, Lawson just screws up everything. Sorry,
Hey
so we
man,
weren't here on a Monday.
it,
People want to start their week off with us, and, we let them, or you let them down per usual.
I apologize. It was so funny because I woke up yesterday morning and I was like, okay, I'm gonna set everything up. We're gonna be Gucci Hoochie ready for the show on Monday, and then I'm like, oh, that's weird. My internet is tweaking, and so I go on to the website and it's like, work on scheduled maintenance, and I'm like, oh, that's not great. And I was like, well, what's the times? It was like from 7 to 10. I was like, so that just screws the entirety of the morning, and I'm like, that's unfortunate,
Yeah,
dude.
at least it was in 10 at night.
Dude, for real, cause like a couple years ago when we got the internet provider that we have now, they would do these like once a week, and I'm like, how
Mhm.
often do I need to fix the shit? And now it's like once every few months. One of my boys has or back then he had Comcast for his internet provider, and dude, I swear it was like every day, just throughout the day, it'd just be like, oh, are you? Once again, this was like in 2018 when we're on the game all day. It's like, oh, are you getting on? He's like, dude, they're Comcast are working on stuff. I'm like, dude, they worked on stuff yesterday. Did they like miss
So what?
something? Dude, for real.
Yeah, my internet issues, and I probably have the worst provider available, but
Who's your
some
provider?
people and someone in my house is set in their ways and doesn't like change. So,
Hmm. Who's your
it is
provider?
what it is. Wow,
Yeah, it
it's
must be.
probably got the worst provider available. So,
I was gonna say that
anyway,
must be like a Michigan thing because I've never heard a WoW.
yeah, it's probably. I don't think it's quite a Michigan thing. I think it's bigger than that, but it probably is a northern thing.
Yeah,
But anyway, dude. So how was your weekend, man? What did you do? Catch us
dude.
up.
Catch us up. So
Up.
Friday night, we just kind of hung out. Saturday, watched. There was the Tennessee Georgia game. My dad came down for the weekend, and he's a big Tennessee guy, so we were watching that, and he was yelling at their kicker because I don't know if you've seen you
I
know
didn't see.
well, Tennessee had control throughout most, and then it comes down to their kicker, and he shanks it wide right, and they lose in overtime because that's what kickers do.
That's
Besides,
what. I think I did see that because I think I took Tennessee money line in overtime, and
it
I think I lost.
it was funny because leading into the game, I was like, oh, they have a great chance to win. Georgia, for whatever reason, the Georgia Tennessee matchups, especially over like the past 6 7 years, they've always been relatively close, especially in Knoxville. And when Gunnar Stockton looked as shaky as he did early, and Tennessee's pass rush kind of got after it, because if there is a year to get Georgia, it's this year. Their offensive line, especially on the right side, isn't as good, and Tennessee was doing a great job of just completely bullying the right side of the offensive line. But then after that, we just hung out, and then Sunday was. I want to start a petition, and this is kind of going to go into like a little mini Steelers rant. Can we have? I'm going to start a petition. Let's have every single NFL rookie entering. entering the league that year. They gets drafted, signed, whatever, to sign the fucking rule book before.
That doesn't mean they read it.
It's at least an acknowledgement, like, because Caleb.
I saw that you said that in Discord, and then I was like, "What the hell is he talking about?" Because obviously, I don't care about the
Right.
stupid Steelers.
Have you
Um,
seen the play?
so yeah, saw it after it like went through his hands, and he just left it.
He didn't even touch it. That's the
Oh, you didn't touch it?
No, but he had to go get it because it landed in the landing zone, and then
Hmm.
because like I said, I wish y'all could have saw my face because I'm watching it. I was like, okay, we just held him to 3. Big Aaron's gonna get the ball. We're about to see if he can lead another game, at least tying drive. Because when you have Chris Boswell, he's damn near as automatic as Brandon Aubrey is. Just get a first down and a half, and you're almost in field goal range. And then I just see Caleb Johnson do this or do this, turn around and just start to walk off towards the sideline, and I'm like, that's a live ball. Dude, I was so butthurt. And like going from a 3-point deficit with 9 minutes left to a 10-point deficit with 9 minutes left, your odds of winning that game dramatically drop. And I'm just like,
Yeah.
oh my. Now, is that the reason we lost? No, but it's not the there's the expression, it's not the first drop of water, it's not the last drop of water, it's all the drops in between, and that was one of the major ones.
You got Sam Darnold.
We did, dude. It was so funny because we were getting after Sam at first, and then Alex Highsmith with a high ankle sprain, Patrick Queen had to leave for a couple drives, and I'm just like, dude, Joey Porter Jr. was out due to a hamstring injury, and I'm just like, brother, we're dropping like flies.
Yeah,
But
yeah. So
I'm sure you saw, your Lions did what,
so I'll take you back to my Friday.
Oh god.
Friday we
Yep.
are hanging out, and it's about we're feeling good. We're watching. What were we watching? Oh, we watched SmackDown, then we were watching The Righteous Gemstones. We were finishing that series up, um, and so we're watching that, and it's about 11:30 at night, and
Mhm.
the dog is by the door needing to go out. So I open the door, and the dog fucking takes off, and I'm like, Wyatt, and I yell at him, and he like fucking slides on the fucking deck, and then he's like, and I was like, what the fuck? And then like he's like kind of walking slowly around the yard and comes back in the house, got fucking sprayed by a skunk, dude. And so right in the face. So he comes back in, and his fucking eyes are bloodshot the fuck red, dude. Like just like looks like stoned out of his mind. He starts foaming from the mouth, which I didn't know that was normal. So I started freaking out, and I'm like, he's foaming from the mouth. What do we do? What do we do? And she, my girlfriend's
Bro's
like,
tweaking.
if it stops, that's fine. Like, if it continues to go, we gotta take him to an emergency vet or something. Well, it stopped, but we had to give the little man a bath. We washed him 3 fucking times that night. And
Did
so
you do the
we had
did you do the old tomato soup trick?
no, no, we did the so she was looking up some remedies. We did okay, so for the first wash we did like regular dog shampoo. Second wash and this was all in like the same time frame. So
Yeah.
we washed him with dog shampoo, rinse him off. Then we put there was a mix of peroxide, baking soda and dish soap.
Mm.
We washed him with that, scrubbed him with that, and then we scrubbed him with the dog shampoo again.
Mm.
Still around his neck and his face still smells like skunk, but the rest of his body is fine. So I just need to, probably wash him around his neck and face again. Um, but yeah, so that's how our weekend started off. And then
That's so
Saturday I
funny.
had a golf outing. We did like a little scramble, 3-team scramble. My team ended up winning.
Nice.
We shot a 60, which was 8 under. My one of my buddies like was on fucking fire. And so, we killed it in the scramble. After that, we went back to my buddy's house to play like yard games or whatever. I'm not a big yard game guy, but I played a little bit of wiffle ball and watched some college football, ate some snacks, and ate a sub, and then came home. The girlfriend came back over. We hung out. She couldn't stop smelling skunk the whole weekend. And then during the Lions game, I fell asleep right before halftime and woke up with about 3 minutes left, and I was like, "Holy fucking shit! They're up by 30."
Dog.
Um,
Insane.
so yeah. But I took the Bears +6. Thought it was gonna be a close game. Um,
It
was wrong on that, but
yeah. That
made my money back yesterday with the 2 games. So
that game was so, and that game being Detroit, I assumed that Detroit would, they got punched in the mouth in week 1, and I figured they would win, but a 30 spot is kind of nuts, especially
yeah.
with Ben Johnson's return to Detroit.
Hmm.
Um Jared Goff was phenomenal. He had as many touchdowns as he had incompletions. Amon-Ra feasted, and
Yeah.
they asked Ben Johnson after the game about them running the script. He was like, "Well, what else are they supposed to do? They don't kick field
Dude,
goal. They don't kick field goals over there." And I was like, "I mean,
you,
you're right."
have you seen the 2 catches by Tesla? This dude
Insane.
is, man.
Dude's a
This dude, this dude might be somebody, man. He like 2 fucking phenomenal catches week
yeah.
1 and 2. Start off his career, man. He might have the 2 catches of the year so far.
Mhm.
And I think he only caught like 30 balls at Arkansas last year. Like,
Yeah.
they were like, man, like, they found something, I think. And I'm actually surprised that they extended JMO, because I thought Tesla was going to be, the guy that takes over for JMO when they let him walk, but they extended him.
Yeah.
So it's a good, I was going to say, reaction Monday, but it's a good, let's talk about the Lions Tuesday. That's,
Yeah. We
we're
have.
good.
Yeah.
We're
We had.
Gucci. We're being Gucci, but we're gonna get destroyed by Baltimore. I'm just gonna tell you that. Like
Oh
I
yeah. Like that shit might be ugly as fuck.
Lamar Jackson, we just can't stop him. Like
Espe-
it's
Dude, like I think Lamar's record against NFC teams is like he has like a 94%
it's like,
like win percentage.
yeah, I
It's
think he's got
ridiculous.
1 loss or something.
Yeah, and I remember when y'all were on the rise. What was it, 3 years ago? And y'all played in Baltimore, and it was like
Yeah.
51-24 or something ridiculous. And I'm like,
It wasn't even that. It was like 36-6 or some shit. They
something
like killed him.
something
Yeah.
ridiculous.
I think we only scored like 6 points or less than 10 points, and we
Mm.
just got smoked.
The th-
Um,
the thing with Lamar, and that could be a saving grace. We saw his escapability in week 1. With on there was like a 3rd and 10 in the fourth quarter. It was like Joey Bosa and Ed Oliver all over, man. It just doesn't matter because Lamar is Lamar. Aiden Hutchinson could be all right. Games on. He's what, 97, 90, 97, right? Hutch,
who?
Hutch.
Yeah. I spaced out for a second.
Yeah, yeah. It's like all right, 97. This is on this game. Will
Yeah.
this game is almost because he has the explosiveness of some of the best edge rushers that just have the ability to just break on the snap. So it's like
Hmm.
and because he's on Lamar's dominant side, if he's gonna roll anywhere, have him roll left because that's not his. He's not a
Right.
lefty. But one last thing to touch back on the Lions game. Around halftime when the score was already ridiculous, I was like, okay, well I'm gonna put this game on like just on the side to where I'm not it's not one of like the main
Hmm.
ones that I'm looking at now, and then I get notifications on my phone. JMO monster play 50 like whatever yard touchdown. I was like, oh, so they're just saying bombs away just to say because that's why. And then
Yeah.
when you look at the stats, he had 108 yards on 2 catches for 2 touchdowns,
Mhm.
and that's why for depending upon your fantasy league for PPR stuff, I was looking at JMO in like the whatever round it was, and I'm like, JMO's one of those boomer bust guys, dude, because he's not
Right.
he's not a 6 for 80 and a touchdown. He's a 2 2 for 115 and a touchdown.
Yeah, he definitely is like you said, boomer bust. Like he's big play Waymo, dude. Like
Dude, and
um,
his
but
speed is so killer.
dude, so I had taken the Broncos money line and got fucked over by that because
I
dude, it's like, so I would be so pissed if I was a Denver Bronco fan, dude. Like that shit was so ridiculously like that there was no penalty.
need me to
Like
set the scene? Do you need me to set the
yeah,
scene? All
yeah,
right.
go ahead.
So Will Lutz on one end, kicking, what was it, a 37-yard field goal to put them ahead. It would have been 31-26, so Danny Dimes would have needed a whole touchdown drive. It doinks off the left upright. Danny Dimes, are they going to put the ball in his hands? No. Jonathan Taylor, get us in field goal range. They work our way down, and I hear on the announcer, this young kicker, I don't even know who he is, if I'm being honest. You know what? Hold on. Because hold on. What is your name? Spencer Schrader. You are now a Colts legend from now till the end of time. They said, going the way that he was kicking, in pre-games his long was 59. So they trot his ass out there for a 60-yarder. And he kicks it, and it's leaning, and it's leading, and wide right. And I was like, holy shit, for someone that took the Broncos money line, awesome. Can you bless me with something money-wise, right? And then flag. And I was like, oh, this is either going to be really funny or really bad. And I see leverage. I'm like, that's a free 15. And then, of course, Mr. Schrader walks up and smacks it right down the middle for 45. That was one of the, yeah, I'm right there with you, dude. If I was, and the kick was a 42-yarder that Will Lutz missed. But yeah, dude, if I'm
Yeah,
a Broncos fan, I'm pissed.
dude, because like they even replayed it and they were like, "Oh, we don't really see much there," but and it's like, okay, cool. So, that I think there should be, especially with it coming down, when they should make a rule because I think that there was no time left when this
Yeah.
happened. Like if there's no time left, I feel like you should review the flag. Like there should just be an automatic review and be like, all right, let's make sure that there was a penalty on this because this is literally game changing. Like you're going from a 60-yarder to a 45-yarder, which is like
Percentages,
is way up.
percentages are obviously a lot easier to do it from 60 to 45, yeah.
Right. So I think they should like review all calls that if there's a call that ends the game or like is on the last play of the game and the clock goes 0 before you restart anything, before you give them penalty yards, they should have to review it and be like, okay, was there actually a flag on this play
Mm-hmm.
or whatever. Because that's ridiculous, dude. You just took away a win from Denver just like the dude put his arm on the fucking center. Like
Yeah, for
he didn't fucking use him to fucking jump up. Like the dude was like this. Like his feet were on the ground.
yeah.
Like
The
so
whole Yeah, dude. If I was Denver, I'd be livid. And for a team that, even though the Chiefs are 0-2, they need every win they can get in that division.
yeah.
And
Yeah,
just
because the Chargers looked very good last night.
bro,
Uh, they looked like such a superior team against. I always try to call them Oakland, but Vegas.
yeah.
The Raiders. Gino looked absolutely terrible. I don't know what the hell he was doing all night. Like from the first fucking throw, to even like the shit like he threw like a screen pass to Genty and like it was just like almost picked off for a pick six. Like
Hmm.
he was throwing it in coverage all night, like making questionable throws. Genty didn't look good. He was getting no time to get or no holes. I just the Chargers just they should have like they only won by 11. They should have dominated that fucking game.
Speaking of the Chargers, and this could be, another just unfortunate injury. Did you see the Khalil Mack injury?
Yes, I did.
That shit
Yes,
was disgusting.
yeah,
Like, first of all, do I love injuries? Absolutely not. However, if they show a replay of it, I kind of want to watch it, no matter how. However, I kind of want to see it because it's kind of nasty. But yeah, dude, like arms are not supposed to go that way. And when I saw him on the sideline in a sling, I'm like,
Yeah.
that shit looked broke to me.
How long is Justin Fields out? He got hurt too. I think he got concussion
Concussion. I
protocol.
th- I don't know if he'll play this week, but I don't think it'll be one of the. Now, once again, I'm not on the inside, so I don't know how severe the concussion is. But
Hmm.
my guess is if he misses this week, he'll be fine next week. That's my guess.
Because
Because
I
they
guess
play
I guess I won't have a quarterback in fantasy this week because he's my only active one. So,
they play in Tampa this week, so
yeah, and then Burrow's out for a while with a toe injury, needs
dude,
surgeries. Cincinnati might be cooked for the rest of the year.
that's
Um,
one of the main reasons. So there are certain things that, oh, you hold this record. It's not always good records. Like example,
yeah,
um, there's a baseball movie where someone is about to be the home run leader in the minor leagues, and that's not a record you want to have. You don't want to be the all-time home run king of the minor leagues. And Joe Burrow and I think Chad Pennington are currently tied for the most comeback player of the year awards with 2. If Burrow misses now, he's going to be out at least 3 months. But let's say that there's either a setback or something, or by the time he comes back, they're out of playoff contention. So they just put him on ice the rest of the year.
yeah.
He could win the comeback player of the year for a third time, and that's just like, dude, that's not a list you want to be on.
Do they make a move for like Jameis?
I thought about that. It's really interesting because of the division you're in, and the Giants don't need Jameis for as much of a locker room guy that he is. Now, New York's kind of coming off of high of a loss as you can, after Russ going out to
Yeah.
throwing for 450 and that game being insane. If the Bengals want to continue to be contenders, I never thought they were going to be contenders with Joe Burrow because I thought the offensive line was bad last year and it kind of got worse, and I thought the defense was bad last year and it kind of got worse. So
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't. It once again, if when Burrow comes back, because he's gonna miss 3 months, so that's 12 games. Uh, 11, 12, give or take, whenever their bye is. If they are, because they're 2-0 right now, if they're 4-7, there's kind of no point, because
Right. Well, you make the move now.
I mean,
Like that,
I
I would
obviously,
make the move now.
oh, I'd call every team with any serviceable kind of backup quarterback and say, listen, I understand Jake Browning had a couple a couple stretches, over the past couple years when Joe Burrow was hurt, and Zach Taylor said, "Oh, we have an immense amount of confidence in Jake Browning." At the end of the day, it's Jake Browning.
Right. Well, still, even if you make a move, at 7:54 on Tuesday, September 16th, the quarterback that you make a move for isn't starting Sunday. So you're
No,
still getting a start from Jake Browning. And then, probably next week, they would be able to start. But I think you make a move. You're 2-0. If you were 1-1 or even 0-2, like I say no, but you're 2-0. The season's still young. You still have a shot at the playoffs, and you
yeah,
still have a chance for Joe Burrow to make a return this year. So as long as you can weather the storm and be somewhat 500, you know,
yeah, because
a chance. So I would make the move now, get Jameis Winston or get one of Cleveland's quarterbacks or who I don't know if they'll deal within the division, but there's
so
there's options out there to go through. And speaking of quarterbacks, what do you think about JJ McCarthy?
it's really tough because in the second half in the fourth quarter of week 1 he was awesome,
Dude,
and
he's been awesome for one of 8 quarters.
yeah,
Like,
and now in week 2 he looked he's a lot more mobile than I thought he would look. But I
Hmm.
don't know if it's timing. I don't know if he's still dealing with the speed of the NFL to college. But and now he's dealing with a high ankle sprain that he's out. He's out this week and might miss the game in Ireland against Pittsburgh. Because obviously, when you're a quarterback with a high ankle sprain, you don't want to go against a dominant pass rush. I mean, that's how we got the Chargers last year. I was about to say Joe Burrow. Justin Herbert entered the Steelers game with a high ankle sprain and he didn't finish the game. It's really tough for JJ because I don't think he's elite at anything. I think he's good at a lot of things. But in the NFL, you at least have to have one superpower when you're playing the quarterback position. Whether
Yeah.
it be arm strength, decision making, mobility, and I think JJ's still adjusting. But through eight quarters, it's been like, okay, there's something, and I don't think it's fundamentally wrong because once again, it's two regular season starts in his career.
Yeah.
So I just want more tape. But yeah, through eight quarters, he's been a D.
I was very hesitant when they drafted him
Mm-hmm.
because at Michigan, a lot, the majority of what he did was just hand the ball off.
Right.
They had a great running game. They went back to Michigan's roots of having a dominant offensive line, and pounding the rock.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then, playing off the play action pass and things like that. There's a clip that people show up, on Twitter and stuff about, oh, how good can JJ McCarthy be? And it's always that, he throws it to the fucking receiver and back to him and he makes this crazy fucking catch and then he bombs it down the fucking
Yeah.
field for like a 30-yard completion, which is great. But like you said, that's college speed. That play would have never fucking happened in the NFL. He would have got lit the fuck up before he threw the ball.
He
Um, and I think he's still not used to the speed because I don't know if he played any during the preseason, but he probably should have. Um, and I don't think he played at all last year in the preseason, because I think he got hurt right before it, if I remember correctly.
I think he made
Um,
I think he made one start. I think he made one start in the
okay.
preseason last year.
So, obviously he doesn't have the experience yet, but I was hesitant from the beginning on him, just because he wasn't in a pro style offense at Michigan. He was let's run the ball and play action pass it, and
Manage the game.
it
Don't
was
lose us the game.
exactly. So, that's still a big question mark for a 15-2 Minnesota team, that is now 1-1, and their win is against, the
The Bears.
Bears. So,
Mm-hmm.
the Bears are looking like a 3-14 team right now. After 2 weeks, so they haven't looked impressive at all. But we'll see.
One of the more interesting stats, and for a team that I think has an above average offensive line. Now I don't once again I'm not as tapped into the Vikings. I don't know if Christian Darrisaw is back, but I know this stat will be better when or will be less when he does come back. Excuse me. He's been sacked 9 times in 2 games.
Yeah.
He was sacked 3 times against Chicago and 6 times at home against Atlanta. And that Atlanta game was just ugly on both sides. Like whichever whatever team won the turnover battle would have won the game due to eventually all those short fields are just going to eat you up.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it was due to JJ's high ankle sprain because I don't remember when he suffered it,
Hmm.
but it like for a game in which both defenses are playing excellent, and once again, it's not like he's going against a seasoned veteran like a Baker Mayfield. He's going up against Michael Penix. He's just
Yeah.
as young as you are.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And he only has a couple more games under his belt. He didn't
Yeah.
start all last year. So,
Hmm.
yeah, I mean, we'll see, but I think the Vikings are, I think they might be in a little bit of trouble. I don't think they're going to be a playoff team this year. I think they're going to be below 500. They'll probably be around 500, but like 7-10, 8-9, somewhere in there. But we'll see. I also don't think Sam Darnold's going to have the year that he did last year with
Hmm.
Seattle this year, but I think it was just a lightning in a bottle type thing, and their only two losses last year were against Detroit. So,
Mm.
that's pretty impressive to kind of run the table versus everyone else last year. But, we will see. But Baker, you mentioned Baker. He is the dude, man.
Bro.
Um, that motherfucker comes out yesterday. You know the best play of the game last year yesterday was when fucking Baker scrambled for it might have been the 4th and 10 at the end of the game. He scrambles, he fucking gets up and he's like hurt, but the dude, fucking former Lion who like now shits on the Lions because he wanted to be a Lion for life, but then we're like, no, we're good, and he's like, oh fuck Detroit, I never wanted to be there anyway. Okay, CJ or whatever,
Yeah, Chauncey
CG
Garner Johnson.
or
Yeah.
whatever the fuck your name is, Garner Johnson. Um, he starts talking shit to Baker, and Baker just springs back up as if as if he stopped selling in the WWE, and he was like, "Oh yeah, we're gonna fight for real now." That was fucking awesome, and he got right in his face, and then he went down and fucking won the game for him.
I hope you can forgive me because I saw a funny tweet literally earlier before this. It says Baker was about to be hurt, but then he remembered shit talking was his antidote. Cause
Right.
like, dude, when he made the scramble, I'm like, oh, he immediately reached for his right knee immediately,
Hmm.
and I'm like, okay, it didn't look as crazy bad, but I don't know, it'll be like just a mild sprain that he's not gonna feel
Right.
until he's in the showers later. But yeah, when Gardner Johnson, was talking shit to him. Baker got right up and kind of got in his face as he's jogging back. I'm like, Baker's one of those guys where like when he was coming out, I was not a fan. I thought I thought he was a player that was just a fantastic college player. I didn't think he would pan out in the NFL.
Hmm.
And he is
NFL 2.0.
I thought he'd be better, but along the same lines, kinda. And he's proved me wrong, and it's been awesome to see. The fact
Yeah.
that he's got another thing too, going from Cleveland to Tampa. He's just a Tampa guy. He's got the
You're right.
swag, the pizzazz, the ish talking, the just the macho of it. It looks like he breathes confidence. And
Yeah. It's crazy because he's obviously he started in Cleveland, then he went to Carolina, I believe, and
yeah.
like those are probably the two worst franchises in. You could probably throw Jacksonville in there,
Mm,
and up until 3 years ago, you could throw the Lions in there, right? So, um, one of the worst franchises, or two of the worst franchises in the NFL to start your career. People write him off, and then he makes that great comeback with the Rams and gets his contract, deservingly so, with Tampa Bay. And Tampa Bay
mm-hmm.
has never looked back, man. I think they've made the playoffs every year since he's been there.
Yep.
He makes that offense go, dude. Like he makes guys, dude. Like I mean, like I understand Mike Evans was a name before him, but he boosts Mike Evans. The new dude from Ohio State, I don't want to even
And
try to
Mecca
pronounce his
Egbuka.
name. Yeah, that guy. Um, Godwin, I think is still on their team. I'm not sure. Maybe.
Yeah,
Um,
he should be coming back in the next couple of weeks because he suffered a broken leg on that Monday night game against Baltimore last year. So their offense isn't even like fully healthy yet. They've missed Tristan Wirfs the first two games too,
mhm.
and he might be back this week. If not, the latest will be week 4. But yeah, dude, like that offense is great
Yeah,
now.
I think he was my favorite player in the NFL. Like, if I could trade Jared Goff for one guy, it would be Baker Mayfield.
Dude, his reluctance to just sit and sling it and not
Mhm.
care, because
Right.
there's you've seen the memes when you have an elite receiver. Fuck it, Mike Evans down there somewhere.
Yeah.
His willingness to just say, you know what, someone I will throw someone open before the 4th and 10. What was it? 3rd and 10. Baker pocket collapses, rolls right, hits Ibuka right in the fingertips, and then next play, delayed blitz. It was I think it was a 5-man rush. Baker steps, makes the safety miss, and takes off. I'm like, oh my!
Yeah.
I think Troy Aikman even said like, "Oh my gosh" on the on the telecast. But
He's just a
dude,
dog, man. He does
dude, for
whatever it
real.
needs to be, whatever needs to be done to win. Like he's just a winner. Like I hope this guy wins a Super Bowl at some point in his career.
Hmm.
Um, he's like, I don't know how someone would not want him on your team.
Dude, Andrew Filipponi, he covers the Steelers at the, I think it's the 412, I think that's their radio station. I think it's called the
Mm.
412 The Fan in Pittsburgh. He says that it was funny because last night he posted an edited picture of Baker in a Steelers jersey, and I remember before he went to Tampa, there were rumors that the Steelers could be, interested. And me being me, I was like, oh, absolutely not. Get him a, because I just from his
Well, because
timing,
you don't know ball.
huh?
You don't know ball.
I didn't know ball like I do now, and then that off season was the off season we signed Mitchell Trubisky, and I was like, real, that's not good. And then we drafted Kenny Pickett, and I was like, okay, well, we'll see. Dude, I mean,
That's not good.
right? I mean, the one
He's
thing,
number 2 pick, man.
the one thing for Mitchell Trubisky, he's never thrown a pick six. Never thrown a pick
Yeah,
six.
he probably
Which,
hasn't had many opportunities to either.
yeah, because he tracks them down, all of them. But yeah, dude, like the tweet was like the Steelers will regret not signing Baker, and I was like, yeah, but also you don't want to play 5 years later, guy.
You do want to play 5 years later, guy, because the Steelers organization, as we all know, sucks. And they don't do everything to win.
Hey,
Which you
dude,
said.
we
I mean,
try,
not everyone
okay?
could be the Lions, dude. Not
Yeah,
everyone could be the Lions. So,
everyone's just chasing the Lions at this point.
yeah, I know, dude.
But
I know. Like the 0 Super Bowls in history and the 0 Super Bowl appearances in history, dude. That's kind of cool. That's kind of cool.
all not all records are great records, but this
Yeah.
one's kind of cool. It's
I mean, would you
it's
rather have
our thing.
would you rather have like 6 or 7 Super Bowls like the Steelers, or would you rather have 0?
Hey,
Let's just say.
they don't have a losing record in the Super Bowl.
Hey, I think
El,
if the
El,
Lions ever win the Super Bowl, the whole city of Detroit might get fucking burned down. So,
dude, that would be. I remember when the Falcons made the Super Bowl, and the B Dubs, where I like in the small town that I grew up in, there was your local, Buffalo Wild Wings there, and so I
did you send the game
I
to
heard,
overtime?
dude, I didn't go out. That was like 2 years before me and my boys started going there, for the every year Super Bowl thing. But dude, I heard, because I was still in high school, I heard that they destroyed it when they blew the 20. I heard they were throwing chairs through the fucking windows, everything. I was like, dude, there are certain fan bases that I hope it would be awesome to see them win a Super Bowl, but I fear for the city. Detroit's one of
Yeah.
them. Where,
We
like
all
example,
do.
when the Eagles win it, they have to grease up the fucking like the stoplights because motherfuckers just be climbing it for. I'm like, dude, for what? Dude, I'm dead
Um,
serious.
yeah. Well, no. With if Detroit ever wins it, like I swear, if the city of Detroit and Metro Detroit, where I'm at, in the northern burbs, if um if they don't shut everything down and give us a holiday the day after the Super Bowl, if I have to work the next day, I'm gonna be fucking pissed. I'm just gonna say that.
I seen
And that will be the only game in NFL history that I will go back and rewatch.
Oh, you haven't gone back and rewatched any?
No, why? It's fucking stupid. I'm not, I'm not watching Attitude Era Raws anymore.
I mean, that's a good point.
I rewatch those. I'm not gonna go rewatch another NFL season.
I mean,
That's what we should do. We should just start watching, like, maybe we'll do it next year. We'll pick a random year in the '90s, right? And we'll rewatch the NFL season, from week 1 to week whatever throughout the real NFL season, and we'll just play fantasy with teams from like '94.
that'd be so fucking funny. Now,
Like,
but
I'm gonna draft
Terrell Davis, number one.
Yeah. Yep.
Dude,
I'm I'm gonna draft who is the not Randall Cunningham. Who was the quarterback for the Falcons in the 90s? Chandler, Chris Chandler.
That's a good one.
I'm gonna draft Chris.
I'm gonna draft Jamal Anderson. We're all gonna be doing the Dirty Bird.
Cool, man. I'm gonna get Johnny Morton from the Lions. He can do the worm.
That's funny.
Yeah, dude, that would be awesome.
Something that we didn't even discuss. Did you watch the Super Bowl rematch or no?
No, I did not. I was actually watching the Colts and Broncos instead because
Dude,
I had money on it.
yeah.
I kind of knew the Eagles were gonna win. I feel like that game probably meant more for the Eagles than the Chiefs.
Mm-hmm.
The Chiefs, I feel like they're like the Chiefs are. I hate to say this, but the Chiefs are like LeBron, where they're like, "Oh, we'll take days off during the regular season. We don't really care. Let's just get to the postseason and roll." Versus the Eagles, I think they're still the team that like I think they're still looking up to the Chiefs as far as dynasties.
Mm-hmm.
So I think they take it more personal during the regular season. So I think that was a pretty easy game to call as far as who was going to win that.
It was a defensive masterclass throughout, and a lot of people are saying that the tush push is busted, which we already knew that. But there were multiple instances, and even Tom Brady and Dean Blandino, they spotlighted this on their not go-ahead touchdown. So the Chiefs work. It was like a 13 play drive all the way down, second and goal from like the maybe on like 6. And Travis Kelce, little trail route, hits him like right in the hand or right in the arm, and it gets picked off in the end zone. And even if they would have got held to 3, that's still a tie game with however time to go. Um, the tush push that ended up putting the Eagles up 10. Both the guards, Landon Dickerson and whoever the Eagles' right guard is now, because it was Mekhi Becton last year, but he went to I think the Chargers. They both false started, and it was just 2 blatant false starts, and they didn't call it, and and it makes me laugh because it is the tush push is effective regardless. It is
Mm.
unstoppable when not only do the NFL not enforce the offsides for offensive players, especially the offensive line.
Yeah, because I
And
saw like the lineup and they had like 6 offensive linemen off sides or something.
yeah, and
Uh,
and when the NFL allows them to false start, because in order to stop that play, in theory, you got to get lower than the lineman. And
right.
what's even more funny is one of the Chiefs' defensive linemen, whenever they would line up to try and stop it, right when the ball snapped, one would jump under and try and just punch the ball, like to try and punch it
Yeah.
right before it gets to Jalen Hurts. But yeah, dude, like it's that play. Because I think it was 4 votes this past offseason away from getting banned.
Mm-hmm.
Um, they would ban it immediately if this got 3 yards of play.
Right.
If this got
Okay.
3 yards of play
It
and
would
you could
be-
run it up and down the field,
yeah, absolutely.
and
Absolutely.
the if
That's the only play you would have to do every down. You would get 3 yards of play, and then it
dude,
would
for
be the
real,
most boring football game in fucking history.
dude, for real, and the interestingness in that if they call a false start on 4th downs that you really wouldn't go for it, because that's a real, not a handicap, but like if it's 4th and inches and it's we're gonna guarantee to get this, and now it's 4th and 5, your chance of converting and extending drives are a little different. We have some semi-breaking news, not that it really matters. ESPN announced that First Take host Molly Kieram is leaving ESPN. Wow.
I don't know who that is, so great for her.
Hey,
Hope she didn't get fired.
she's been
Um,
on First Take forever.
is she the chick that's in the who is she? Who is she with? Who's on that show?
That's Stephen A. Smith show.
Oh, okay. So that's the chick that doesn't bring anything to the table. Okay, I'm cool. I'm cool with it. Like she doesn't. She's
She
a
moderates.
good look. She's a good looking chick on there and doesn't know anything. So like,
Dude, I
you know,
remember it was like 2017. It was like maybe a year after Colin Cowherd went from ESPN to Fox, and Christina Leahy was his co-host, right?
Mm-hmm.
And well, co-host, moderator, kind of the same, spiel, right? And I was watching it in the living room, and my mom's old school, right? So she walks into the living room and is like, "What is this girl doing on a sports talk show?" And I was like, "Mom, you can't say." I said, "Girls can know boys," and she was like, "She's there." My mom was like, "She's there because she looks good and it's for eye candy entertainment." I was like, "Yes, but she's also a well-respected reporter and all that stuff." Dude, I remember I remember it was, I think, 2 years ago when the Lions were playing in Green Bay, and we all went to my pops' house. We're all watching the game. My pop's not a sports guy, but it's Thanksgiving. Y'all got the game on, and Aaron Andrews was doing the reporter thing on the sideline, and my mom, once again, real old school, was like, what the fuck is a woman doing right here? And I'm like, "Mom, what the fuck?"
That's how my mom was too. She was like,
Dude,
women shouldn't be women shouldn't be commenting on sports. She's like, I can't, like, she would just be like, I can't stand her voice, or I don't like, she just sounds like an idiot. And like, it's funny because they used to be like, what used to fucking irritate me was when they started bringing women into doing like sideline reporting, and they would be like, you know I talked to Steph Curry before the game, and he told me that last night he had a spaghetti dinner, and when he has a spaghetti dinner the day before a game, the Warriors are 13-2, so look for the Warriors to win today because he had and you're like, what?
what?
Like, what the fuck? Like, and that's how their fucking sideline reports used to be, and I'm like, the fuck did I just listen to? Like, I don't fucking care what he ate for dinner last night. Like, and like, I'm like, dude, like, why don't you come up with some fucking stats and stuff? This chick, I don't watch First Take that much, but
Yeah, I don't
the
either.
stuff that I have seen, she literally brings nothing to the table except for like, okay, well, we got to calm down a little bit and move on to the next topic, or we got to go to commercial break. So, and like the two dudes will just look at her and be like, yeah, whatever.
Okay, we're going to the B block now, or
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't really have an opinion on Molly Kieran because, once again, I'm not a first. I see clips. I'm not a first take consumer
right.
because I thought the product has just slowly gone downhill. Now I'm sure their numbers are still great because Stephen A. Smith, for whatever side of the table you fall on, he's still a draw. Because
Dude, I used to like Stephen A. Smith like back in the day, before he kind of became Stephen A. Smith. When I was actually into the NBA and the Pistons were really good in the early 2000s, and they were going to every conference finals and stuff. I really liked Stephen A. But then when Stephen A started becoming a gimmick and a like, he's almost like Dick Vitale. Like, he says this outrageous shit and it's just like, okay, dude, like, you have your little catchphrases and your shit and whatever, blah 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 blah, and like, you like, everything's got to be about race about for him, and everything's got to be this and that, and I'm like, dude, like, whatever, dude. Like, I have no interest in anything that comes out of Stephen A. Smith's mouth. I mean, got nothing against him. Like, fucking make your money if you're, the most popular person in sports or whatever, and with hot takes and shit like that. And people, there can only be one Stephen A. Smith. People try to, duplicate that and stuff with like that Nick Wright or whatever. He's trying to do the same fucking thing. People got to get their, own gimmick. There's Roddy Piper said, used to say this. There's only one Hogan. Don't try to be another Hogan. You can be somebody else, but be as good as Hogan.
yeah, that's a really good
Yeah,
point. Especially when it comes to, because the older generation of sportscasters, they're just getting older now. Like
right.
like Skip is out the door.
Hmm.
Stephen A. Smith, he'll still be around, but he's been doing it a long time. Cowherd's getting up there in age, so it's gonna be interesting to see who the newer generation is. Because Nick Wright's in his, I think he just turned 40 or something like that. So he's still got a long ways to go until he's the gray hair old dude.
So let me ask you something.
Well,
When you're watching your sports shows, whether it's on Fox or ESPN or what, are you looking for someone to give you the numbers, like pound you with the numbers, or are you looking for someone that's entertaining, or a combination of both? Because a combination of both is hard. But
It's
like,
really hard.
I would rather just be entertained. Like I don't care. I don't need to know like the analytics of someone carrying the ball 5.3 yards per carry
Hmm.
or whatever the fuck. I just want to be entertained. Tell me a little bit about the facts. I can look up fucking stats by myself. I need to
Yeah.
be entertained. That's why I think our show is fucking perfect because you bring the stats, I bring the entertainment. I don't give a fuck about you know
Their third.
Aaron Rodgers
I
213 yards per game.
don't care about their third down conversion rate.
Right. I don't
Right.
fucking care that they ate spaghetti last night. I just want to be entertaining.
Yeah. Because I'm a numbers guy anyway, so I look for the entertainment part of it. It is very hard to find somebody who does both.
Hmm.
Now, I have a soft spot in my heart for your numbers guys, just because that's who I am. I enjoy that side of it to an extent because I'm not pro super analytics how baseball is becoming
Right.
or how it's become in analytics of started to dip it into basketball and football where it's like, oh, if you have the ball on the 45 plus yard line and it's 4th and 5 or less, your analytics say go for it. And I'm like, dude,
Hmm.
nothing will ever beat points on the board. Take your fucking
Right.
three.
Well, yeah, like I don't need to watch something and be like, okay, well, when you see the safety fucking come to this area and it opens up, I don't fucking need to know the X's and O's.
Unless
I
you're.
can look up I can look up stats on my own.
Mhm.
Tell me why Matt Stafford's a bitch this week and threw a pick six and stuff or whatever. Or tell me that the young Wei Koo fucked up and cost them a game and be funny about it.
Yeah.
Like entertain me.
Have
I'm
some.
watching you for entertainment. I need a little bit of highlights, a little bit of commentary, and that's it. Like how Sports Center used to be. Like, it was all like the guys on, 90s Sports Center, you barely saw them. You would see them at the beginning of the show, they would go through each sports highlights and you would only hear their voice. And that's fine. I would rather see the action. I don't need you to break it down. I don't need you to do anything, unless, it's something super interesting where no one else is doing it, but everyone does the same fucking shit. So
Yeah.
be different and be entertaining.
It's really interesting too, because like the only times that I want to see individuals like break shit down are when they are like your how Peyton and Eli do their like how they have their cast on Monday Night Football, and Peyton's doing his Peyton gimmick because it's not a gimmick. That's just who he is. He's football. He's Mr. Football X that knows all that stuff,
You look at his
and
head. He's got a huge football brain in there.
yeah, dude, he literally has, legend has it, that at birth they shrunk a football and put it in there and just slowly pumped the air over time, which is why, sometimes
I mean,
when he was a youngin, he didn't play with no helmet.
he's the star of Mary Shelley's most famous book.
Dude,
You know who Mary Shelley is? You know what book she wrote?
nope.
Frankenstein.
That's awesome. That's hilarious. Dude, speaking of Peyton Manning,
Yes.
when we were driving home, we were listening to the radio because we were on the way back as the Chargers game started.
Were you listening to Sierra?
I was not listening to Sierra.
He's from Atlanta, right?
I don't know, probably.
Were you listening to Field Mob?
No, we were
From
listening to
Atlanta.
we were listening to the
Do you
game.
were you listening to Jermaine Dupri?
I was not.
He's from Atlanta. Were you listening to Ludacris?
No.
What were you listening to?
I
You have all these options because you're from Atlanta.
we were listening to the game.
Okay.
No, we were listening to the game.
Why would you listen to the game when you have all these great artists from Atlanta that you can listen to?
So we were listening to the game last night, and and they're doing the commercial during the commercial break. You know how they'll have like the commercial ad reads or
Yeah.
whatnot. They were showing one of the Peyton Manning commercials. Like, I'm more than just Peyton Manning. I'm motivating
Yeah.
Peyton or whatever. And it got me thinking that they don't make commercials like they do anymore. One of my favorite commercials now is I'm more than just Peyton Manning. I'm also painting Manning, and he's got the canvas in front, and he's painting, and she said, "No, that's a good job, Peyton. That's right, Peyton Manning. That's what I said, Peyton Manning."
Peyton,
Yeah,
Peyton.
dude.
Or like those the commercials with the little kids that used to sit in a circle in the classroom. I think it was like the AT&T commercials. Those are fucking awesome too. But I think they got canceled for some reason.
Dude,
There was some kind of culture thing.
they just do not make good commercials anymore. Because do you know how many jingles I have in my head from as a kid? Like, just because I thought it was catchy? Like
Dude,
the
I just want
877
to be
Cash
like
Now? Need that.
I just want to be like Jake from State Farm, dude. Just give me one thing, like one or like Flow, like just make me the face of something, and
Dude,
I'll just be in all your commercials.
I remember when Jake from State Farm was the white dude wearing khakis. Who are you calling? Jake from State. What are you wearing? Jake from State Farm. Oh, khaki.
It seemed like as soon as they got that NBA sponsorship or like NBA partnership, they switched Jake from white guy to a black guy. But
Dude, the State Farm commercials have just gotten like whoever's doing it now, because I don't know the fucking this Jake from State Farm's dude's name, but he does an awesome job, and a lot of them, yeah, the Jake from State Farm guy, he's really creative, but there's just the nostalgia of that's not the Jake from State Farm. Like if I can remember when I was 12,
yeah,
it's the they're discussing rates or whatever, and his wife comes out. Who are you talking to at 3 in the morning? It's Jake from State Farm. Oh yeah,
she's like,
what are you
"Hey,
wearing? Yeah,
what are you wearing?"
what are you wearing? Jake from State Farm, and he's just sitting at like a desk. Oh, khaki.
Too funny. But it is,
uh,
speaking of khakis, that's not a acronym for something, but Nerfy definitely is. So we got to get back to our Nerfies. Let me see here. I got to pull up the matchups today. We're almost done, man. We're almost done with the regular season. It's coming up here soon.
Playoff
Uh,
Nerfies are gonna feed families.
oh, dude. What date is it? 16th? All
Yeah.
right. So let's see here.
Hey,
You know what?
Casey Mize
I'm
is
gonna
starting
go.
today.
Yeah, that's who I'm going with. I'm gonna go with my
Wow.
hometown Tigers. They are against the Cleveland Guardians. Joey Cantillo. He's a left-handed pitcher. 5-3, 3.36 ERA, 92 strikeouts. Hey, I wouldn't be mad at you if you actually did a Yurfie because the Tigers are good against left-handed pitching. But let's try to get through the first inning. They're versus Casey Mize. He's 14-5, which I didn't realize he had that great of a record. Records don't fucking matter, but he's got a 3.83 ERA with 118 strikeouts. Let's go with the Tigers and Guardians. And if you want to be spicy, fucking parlay that with the Paul Skeens start against the Cubs.
I was just about to say I'm surprised you didn't jump on that because
There's no juice. There's probably no juice on that.
yeah.
I
Speaking
think
of
I've lost 3 Nerfies in a row, by the way. Which I gotta add up my total record by the end of the year.
yeah, I I I lost because the what what pitch was it on Friday that it might have been like the fucking sixth pitch of the game. Scooble lets up home run. I'm like, oh,
That's
nice.
cool.
I mean, that's the thing for Scooble. If you're gonna get them, you got to get them early, cause
Yeah, early, we gotta get him on a fastball.
dude, and that's another thing that a lot of his pitches. I think he gave up. Yeah, he gave up back-to-back home runs in the first and second inning. Well, not back-to-back as in like 3-4 hitter, but like
Mm,
um he's hit like a lot of his pitches, especially a lot of his strikeout pitches, they're just right down the cock, and it's like
yeah.
my stuff's better than your swing,
Yeah.
which is great until it gets smacked, and you're like,
So
oh, dude, for real, yeah, it was because he went a 3 pitch strikeout swing, and then so yeah, the fifth pitch of the game, smack, and guess what it was, fastball high, dead center over the plate.
yep.
But yeah, so mine, and there might not be juice on this either, but there's not a lot of potential. I'm going with the second game of the Braves Nationals doubleheader. We got two lefties on the mound. We got Chris Sale, who has a 5-5 record, a 2.52 ERA, and 141 Ks, going up against Mackenzie Gore, who it was so funny because for the first Mackenzie Gore's first couple starts, he went like 7 and struck out 11 and like back to back, and then I think his third start went like 5 2/3, struck out 8, and everyone was like, "Holy shit, Mackenzie Gore is starting out real strong." And then he started to shit the bed. He has a 5-14 record now with a 4.14 ERA. Took me a minute. With 177 Ks, and he's given up a 2.55 batting average against the Braves lineup. But it is a lefty-lefty matchup, so let's just hope 3 up, 3 down for the start of the Braves game.
Sweet. So, we apologize again for not being here yesterday. Someone's fucking Wi-Fi. Maybe you should have a backup plan, but we're here on a Tuesday, so thank you for joining us. We're normally live Monday, Wednesdays, Fridays at 7:30 a.m. Eastern time, at the Legends Clubhouse, live on New Leaf News's YouTube channel. Go check us out at newleafnews.com/.network. Both of them take you to the same great site. We have daily content, whether it's sports, entertainment, horoscopes, murder shit, politics. You got, or we got it, you name it, we got it, something like that. I'm getting there. It's still early.
You got it, we name it.
Yes, you got it, we name it, and that's it.
Right.
You have a product, we'll name it for you, and you're out the door. Anyway, check us out on our social medias. We have X, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Blue Sky. Go follow us all over those, at New Leaf News. And then, hit that subscribe button to see when we are live, because,